Hey guys, one more video. I have a question for you. Um, how come T12 lights are still being made? I thought like 10 years ago uh, that they banned lights. I could have sworn under Obama's administration they banned the manufacture of T12 and fluorescent lighting. Now, I remember when Trump came in office and he, I guess, extended it or removed the ban outright, so older bulbs can still be made. But I don't know if that ever changed and how long the extension was for, or if it was an extension or just an outright removal of the ban. But how come T12 bulbs are still being made? I remember panic back then, where people were like, "Oh, they're not going to be made anymore. Buy them while you can. Stock up on them." Well, I mean, I just bought four right here. There's four more up there. My Lowe's sells out on them pretty often, and they get brand new stock, tons of boxes. This can't be 10 years worth or 5 years worth of overstock. So clearly, these bulbs are still being made, and this Lowe's also sells T5, T8, T12 ballasts. I actually just bought two more T12 ballasts. Um, and I'm just curious, how come everybody was panicking back then, and how come the T12 lights were supposedly being discontinued? Can anybody answer that question for me? I'm trying to dig this up on Google, and I cannot find anything out. The only stuff I'm finding is old information from years and years and years ago. I did find one website that stated that the only T12s that are being manufactured now, that are still allowed to be manufactured, are the ones that are 4000K and the ones that have a CRI of 87 or higher. The CRI of this is 80. I did find one that was, I think, 89. There was another one that said the CRI was like 60 or 70. So that's not the reason why they're still being made. So why are they still being made? Can anybody answer that question? And I just wanted to let you guys know that yes, I got four more bulbs, and I'm going to be replacing these T12s right here. And can anyone else answer this question for me? This is another question. This T12 ballast is the only one I can find locally. It says normal light level. Now, I know there's a high output, a very high output. I don't think that stuff is made anymore. But what does normal light level mean? It says it uses F96 T12, F96 T12 WM, what is that, 72 T12? And it says the line current is 1.13 amps. So it says use with lamp types 2 F96s. So is that 1.3 amps or 1.13 amps combined? So 2.26 amps? Or is it 1.13 amps each? I'm not sure. Or is it only 1.13 amps total? So does that mean my 60-watt bulbs are going to be underpowered? How does that work? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because the older ballast, as you can see here, this one doesn't work. It only runs one of the bulbs. It doesn't run two anymore. Look at the line current on this. It's 2.14 amps, high output T12s. So that's 110 watts, 2.14 amps. How come, I mean, that makes no sense to me. 110 watts is not 2 amps. 1.13 amps is like 120, 130 watts, something like that. So the 1.13 amp ballast over there should easily power a 110 watt bulb, or two of them, I should think. So why is the old ballast saying it's 2 amps, over 2 amps? It's a rapid start ballast, so it's a magnetic ballast, I'm assuming. It's a pretty big brick, and those are electronic ballasts. So is that the difference? Is that why the amperage is so much greater on one versus the other one? Sorry, I'm still trying to learn this, so if somebody could explain this to me, that would be a big help. And am I going to have a problem with this normal light level ballast? Are my bulbs going to be underpowered? Please explain, please. And the reason why I'm asking is because I'm seriously considering returning these. And the reason why I got them, 60 watts, 5,900 lumens, that's 98 lumens per watt. So for a T12, that's hella efficient. That's extremely efficient for a fluorescent light. 100 watts per lumen, or 100 lumens per watt. Usually you correspond T12s as being the most inefficient piece of craps out there. And apparently these are not inefficient. So, and that's the reason why I have them in this fixture. And as well as that fixture over there. So the original fixtures of this barn were these old T12 fixtures, and when I first bought the place a year ago, only one of them worked, which is this one over here, I think it was this one, and the other ones only had one light. This one didn't even work at all completely, so I have two old big ballasts that power one light, and originally, because I was lazy and I just needed light in here, I actually bought some Lithuania LEDs. And this is another question I have for you. So these are the $90 8-foot Lithuania lights that you can get in Lowe's. They're 9,000 lumens. They say they're 4,000 Kelvin as far as the color temperature. 73 watts, 9,000 lumens is 120 something watts per lumens per watt. So they're a little bit more efficient than these. They're like 20% more efficient. So now, how come? So if these are 5,900 lumens, that's almost 12,000. That's 11,800. That's initial lumens. I get it. Okay. So over time, the lumens are going to drop. I get it. Okay. Now, these lights only have about 100 hours on them. They don't have that much. They're even brand new. I noticed this. So look at the walls. You can tell which one is brighter, can't you? It's the LED. It's pretty bright. I mean, it's not drastic, but it's brighter. It's darker over here. Now, is it darker, or is it the color temperature that's wrong? Now, you can see right here, they advertise 4100K. When my light focuses on this, you can see the yellowish tinge. That's 4100K, because the lower in color temperature you go, the more reds you get. So, and that's the reason why high pressure sodium lights are orange, because their color temperature is like 1900 or 2000, something like that. Now, look at the LED light here. I mean, my camera has to really darken for that, but it's pretty white. There's some yellow in there, but it's pretty white. This again, I mean, it's yellowish, right? So, is that the reason why it looks darker? Is because the color temperature is off, even though they both claim they're 4100K? Or is this really not 5,900 lumens? Does GE advertise this 5,900 lumens for both bulbs? It can't be 5,900 for both bulbs. It has to be 5,900 for each one, because it says 60 watts, and each bulb is 60 watts. So these two lights should be much brighter than the LEDs, but the LED lights, they seem brighter. So you can even see it on the ground. It's brighter over here, It looks darker over there. And another interesting thing is you can actually tell from the box, I think. Let me put this box in the center. Okay, so it's in the center. You see that, right? Now look at the shadow. This is directly in the center. Well, maybe it's not. Let me move it over just a tiny bit. Okay, so that's about centered, right? Okay, so look at the box. Look where the shadow is. There is no shadow over here. There is shadow over here. Do you see it when I move the box? So it's not the color temperature. It can't be. These are just, they're not 5,900 lumens. I don't believe it. So, I mean, I guess this is me shitting on my favorite kind of light, you know, fluorescent lights, HID lights, but those are not 5,900. The color temperature is definitely different, but those are definitely darker. What do you guys think? You see the shadows. There is shadow over here. There's no shadow over there. There's a very little bit shadow, but there's nothing pretty much over there. So that tells you that one side of the lights is brighter than the other. So the reason why I'm thinking of returning these is because of that reason. I'm actually thinking of getting the 110 watt ones, and those were 8,600 lumens. But when you do the math, that's like 70 lumens a watt, somewhere around there, so it gets less efficient. And to be honest, 110 watts is a lot for a bulb, so that's 220 watts for each fixture. And when I put 2 more fixtures in here, that's going to be 420 watts more. And if I bought 2 more of these, it would only be 140 watts, so it's going to be half the power. And I mean, if they're 8,600 lumens, that's 17,200 lumens. So that's twice as bright as the LED, supposedly. But that's if GE is telling the truth. These are not 5,900 lumens. So, I mean, even if you take the initial lumens and you drop it down, let's say to 5,000 or 4,500, that should still be 9,000 lumens combined, and that's not as bright as this 9,000 lumen LED. So even if I generously drop the lumen output, they're still not as bright. Why is that? Can somebody answer that question for me? It kind of makes me want to get 2 more LED fixtures. The only reason why I haven't is because, for one, they're $90 each. And combined with taxes, it's going to be $200 basically. So, and fixing the old T12 fixtures, the one that's over here and the one over there, replacing those ballasts and replacing the bulbs is only $45 for each fixture. So I'll be spending $90 instead of $200. And energy usage, I mean, I'm in here. Tonight is probably one of the longest nights I've ever had these lights on, and that's an entire year's worth. So I've had these lights on maybe 3 or 4 times like this tonight. So, and I've had them on for 4 hours, maybe, okay? Earlier today, I had them on for 2 hours, maybe, so 6 hours in the day. And to be honest, these things are on for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then I flip them off. So the workshop is dirty and it's messy, and it looks like I'm really using it, but I'm really not. So I'm not like in here and making things and doing all kinds of stuff or whatever. I just kind of come in here, pick up my batteries off the shelf, find whatever I need to find, and I get out of here. And when I need to work on a car, you know, like I have a couple times, because I work on my own vehicles, you know, I'm in here for 6-7 hours and then I'm done, you know what I mean, at the most. So, I mean, these lights are only going to be on for let's say an average of 1 or 2 hours a day. So that's 300 hours. I'm just giving you the basic estimate. You know what I mean? So is it really worth spending the extra $100 for the LED lights just to save energy or to have the slightly brighter light? I don't know. What would you guys do? Be honest with me here, okay? So, answer the questions for me, please. Are T12 still being made? B, how come this giant brick has a higher amp rating than the smaller normal light level ballast over here? Can the normal light level ballast handle a 110 watt bulb? I don't really know. So someone answer that question, please. And number 3, how come these supposed 5,900 lumen lights, almost 12,000 combined, are darker than the LEDs, which are 9,000? Again, the shadow, you clearly saw it right there when that was in the center. The shadow is more on the right, and that's because the light is brighter over there. So now, that being said, when I do replace those other lights, they do have reflectors. These don't have reflectors. So once I get the reflectors up here, I'm actually going to move these somewhere further back and put the reflector ones right here. Once I put the reflectors on, I'm probably going to have like double the light output, of course. You know, maybe not double, but let's say 50% more light. So, you know, the walls and the ground are going to be 50% brighter. So maybe then it will be brighter than the LEDs. So, and also these LEDs do interfere with radio. The radio in my car, my little shop radio that I have over here, it does interfere with the radio signal. Not enough to where I can't hear the music, but there is enough to where I can hear the static in the background. It's kind of annoying. And that's kind of the reason why I've been hesitant on not replacing them with LEDs. Because if I have 4 LED lights in here, is that going to be double the interference? I don't know. I don't even like the interference to begin with. So I've almost considered taking these LEDs out, putting them in the other side of the barn, and putting all T12s in here. But what would you guys do? Would you finish replacing the ballast, the bulbs, put them over here where the car engine's going to be, so there should be more light than the LED? Or should I use the 60 watt bulbs, or should I return these and get the 110 watt bulbs for the higher light output? It's just going to cost more money. So, but it's not really going to cost that much more money. To be honest, I did the math, and for the amount of time I use the lights in here, it's like an extra $2 a month. So is it really worth it? And that's the thing. You know, $100 fixture here versus 50 to fix that. Is the cost really worth it? I mean, it's going to take 2 years to pay for that LED light at the amount of time I spend in the garage here. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, please. What would you do? I know I'm throwing things around. This 20-minute video. Would you replace the T12s with LEDs? Because clearly the T12s are not as bright as the LEDs, even though they should be. Or would you get a higher wattage T12 to make up for that? Or would you keep the 60 watt ones with the reflectors and see if there's any difference or not first, and then go from there? Anyway, let me know, please. Thank you.